BPod Studios.
It's half what you're used to.
It's true. This is absolutely true.
Half Hardy.
What had happened was...
And a whole lot of Boston sports.
It's unbelievable.
Toucher and Hardy. Mornings, the Sports Hub.
Hey, we're Toucher and Hardy. Hi. Hardy's back from his vacation. This hour of Toucher and Hardy brought to you by FanDuel Sportsbook. Make every moment more with FanDuel. By the way, you can follow us on Instagram at Toucher and Hardy. Nicholas puts together these videos that delight. You can follow me at Fred Toucher, and you can follow John Wallach at beaksapoppin.com. Where he
Beaks a poppin'.
Yeah, it's just
Has anybody redirected French fries at thebeach.gov to go directly to Wallach's Twitter page?
It's hard to get the .gov. .ca is a little easier.
.edu. Can we do a?
Yeah, French fries at the beach because that's John's vacation. All right, so I did give in. I said no one would watch Dynasty, the Patriots documentary. I thought so much has been written and said and covered about the Patriots, unless there were major things. I'm talking about, like why people didn't play in the Super Bowl, why Malcolm Butler didn't play in the Super Bowl. Like if there weren't major revelations, no one was going to watch it. But I mean, girls, boys, everyone's watching this thing. Everyone's talking about it. So I gave in. I gave in yesterday. I talked to Hardy yesterday, and I'm like, you know what? Screw it. I'll get Apple TV. So I paid $9.99 out of my own pocket. If you're listening, Susquehanna Media. If you're listening, Beasley Media. $9.99 out of this guy's pocket went to the till to give you this content. And Hardy and John, you've been watching this.
Yes, I have. Pretty much the day after. Both 2 Fridays ago and last Friday, they were releasing 2 episodes a week.
Yeah, so you don't want to jump on and be some dork watching it the day it comes out. You watch it the day after.
Yes, that's correct.
An important detail.
It's
Thank
a
you,
big,
Jonathan.
big difference. Yes,
I appreciate you telling us the day after.
Yeah.
Is when you consume them.
I downloaded the first 2 episodes before I went on vacation. I said, "Ooh, here's something to watch on the plane," and that's how I spent my time on the plane, watching the episodes 1 and 2.
See, you're not depending on that pesky TV in front of you.
No, but I ended up having time for both.
Oh, that's interesting. That's fun.
Yeah,
that flight to Fort Myers.
Yeah,
and the 7-hour drive out to Sanibel.
Let me tell you. Anytime I fly to Florida from Boston, I think to myself, why does it take this long?
Yeah.
It shouldn't take this long.
No, it shouldn't.
But it does. It does like over 3 hours to get down there.
Yeah, I flew to St. Lucia, and we were on the plane for like 2 hours coming back. And I looked at the map of where we were, and we had moved like an inch on the map. We were like still like over the water, like not even close to the United States. I'm like, what did that happen? I hate when that happens on flights, where you're just like you're not even nervous or anything, and then like 2 hours goes by, and you're like, oh, yeah, we got to be almost there. And then you look at, then they give you that map, and you're like, where the hell are we? Like,
right.
why there must be a headwind from the gods. I mean, speed it up, and they can, but there's other planes. Don't worry about it. You don't need to know. So anyway, this dynasty is going on. It starts with, it goes over the Parcells stuff. It does everything else. But what do you want to focus on here, Harvey?
Well, there is a moment after the Super Bowl where they decide Tom Brady is, in fact, going to be a thing moving forward. And David Nugent is one of the many people who are interviewed in this documentary, and he's talking about a time after Tom Brady, gets his first real contract, and I believe we'll hear Michael Holley setting this up, who has a lot to say in this documentary. They go to Holley a lot. For
he wrote a book about the
of
whole
course,
thing.
Of course.
After the Super Bowl, he got a 4-year contract extension, maybe $6 or $7 million a year.
I think that all of a sudden it hit him like a ton of bricks, like, this is my new reality. I remember one day we're in the car, and he just said, Nugent, I'm a millionaire. I said, Tom, yeah, you are. He goes, no. I'm a millionaire.
So you think this is a nice moment. Like, you just won the Super Bowl. Tom Brady, who looks, by the way, 100 years older in 2001 than he does now. It's, like, insane.
Big dork. Big old dork.
Yeah, he's a big old, like, drunken dork. And then now all of a sudden he looks 1,000 times. Again, whatever surgery he's had done, and I know there's more to it, and he's more naturally handsome, and he follows a great diet. But he's done something to his face that has made his face look different, that is spectacular. I'm very impressed with how he looks in this documentary. But there you go. So it's a nice moment. They're enjoying it. He realizes he's a millionaire. They're just two kids in a car.
Right.
But then it takes a horrible turn. Okay?
Yes.
So there's two guys. What a fun moment. Seriously, like, wow.
Right.
Like, what an innocence. After Tom Brady's become this icon.
Out
This
of
is
nowhere.
A moment of innocence.
Yep.
And then it takes a horrible nightmare turn.
And at that exact moment, I will never forget, the song Black Betty started playing on the radio, and he cranked it up, and we just started playing air guitar and rocking out to his newfound wealth.
You're the reason. You people are the reason why this plays in places where I am at. Never have. What two morons, what two head injury victims hear Black Betty and do anything besides try to get it off as soon as possible? I'll never forget, Black Betty was playing on the radio and we turned it. He didn't just said, so he turned it off and then sat in silence. And it ruined the moment. Who likes this song?
Every once in a while, it pops up at Bruins games, too.
Every once in a while, every 10 seconds, it pops up in a Bruins game. And you go, why is this playing?
Yeah.
There's no one in the arena that's excited Black Betty's playing. What the hell song is this? And what station was playing it? They should be immediately. Well, I guarantee you they're not playing it anymore. It's probably AAF.
Well, this
probably why they don't exist.
This
because they were playing Black Betty.
This caused me to go down the Ram Jam wormhole a little bit, Fred.
Oh, boy.
Because I knew that you hated this song. And I'm like, why does Fred hate this song so much? What is it about the song? And I identify one part of the song. How do you know if you've made it this far into the song? But this is the part of the song that I hate. Like, there's something oddly kitschy fun about the beginning of it. Right up until the point they get into the first of several breakdowns in the song. And if you don't think that song sucks, I defy you to listen up to this point of the song and say, oh, no, this is good.
I've never heard. Wow, I've never heard. Obviously, never heard the song all the way through because I'm, wanted away as soon as possible, or my brain goes into fight or flight mode. But I like how it gets prog rock and they just start showing off time changes.
This is not edited. This is the song.
That's like Hemispheres by Rush.
Yeah.
I mean, no, that's like some prog rock, like we're showing off time changes. Mm-hmm. Here are some unusual time changes, ladies and gentlemen. How many times do you think they pulled that off live?
Bob's like, you're insulting my playlist.
Well, Bob has an erection.
I know.
I mean, Bob from WROR is just like...
He's like, what are you doing
we played
to my
it 10
song?
seconds later. He's like, who's programming these stations? We're playing it right now, too.
They're about to start noodling, too. Now, this sounds like Allman Brothers.
It's
just gone.
Yeah, it devolves into, like, progressive rock. Dueling
This
banjos.
sounds like the not necessarily the news theme. I don't know.
Where's Steve Carell?
Different show.
I know.
This got played on the radio?
How long is this song? How long is this? 7 minutes? How long is this?
I think the full version is like 5 minutes.
Okay.
But then, as I said...
Well, it's still long for a single.
I went down the wormhole. And it gets credited to Leadbelly when, like, oh, is there a Leadbelly version that Fred and I were both subjected to in college because we had some dork roommate who claimed to love the old blues recordings, and sure enough.
Oh, Black Betty, bam-ba-lam, oh, Black Betty, bam-ba-lam, Black Betty, bam-ba-lam, Black Betty, bam-ba-lam.
I just picture a guy in a tweed jacket closing his eyes in orgasmic ecstasy.
Bam-ba-lam,
Blues.
Black Betty,
The blues.
bam-ba-lam, oh, Black Betty.
See, I picture Jack White sitting for a documentary and saying, "This is pretty much my favorite song."
Bam-ba-lam, oh, Black
You know what the
Betty.
radio show that I would listen to? I would listen to a podcast that was 5 hours long of just two guys listening to this absolute crap and just masturbating about how wonderful it is.
Black Betty, bam-ba-lam, turn around, Black Betty, bam-ba-lam, jump down, Black Betty, bam-ba-lam.
That is the greatest.
Now,
When people... That's just, ooh.
Oh, Black Betty.
Like, they do the, I think you should
Black
leave
Betty.
about it. Like, just like the old record player with like this huge needle on it. Like, shh.
Bam-ba-lam, Black Betty had a baby. Bam-ba-lam, Black Betty had a baby. Bam-ba-lam,
Uncork the
thing
port.
crazy.
I have a gem on 78 RPM.
okay, so you don't.
Say, blow the dust off the jacket.
Okay.
Here comes, listen, the original recording from Woody Wood-Eye McGee. He recorded this in a shack
Oh, Black Betty.
in Arkansas in 1894.
Bam-ba-lam, jump steady, Black Betty.
Listen.
Bam-ba-lam, jump steady, Black Betty.
Careful. It's not the ramblings of a bum. No, it is the genesis of something magical.
All right, fine. You don't like the Ram Jam version. You don't like the source material from Leadbelly. Maybe you would like the Tom Jones cover that came out in the early 2000s.
This is TJ, dedicated the song to Leadbelly.
Well, he
So
apparently hit a massive penis.
I think it's going to be good because he's calling himself TJ and he's giving a shout out to Leadbelly. So this is probably going to go to a good place.
Oh, Black Betty, bam-a-lam, oh, Black Betty, bam-a-lam, she from Birmingham, bam-a-lam, way down in Alabama, bam-a-lam.
Well, it's better than the blues one.
It's not better than this though.
All right, there's a backstory to this. Hang on. I'm actually interested in this. Rob, go ahead.
Morning, gentlemen. So back in the late 80s when Lyndon Byers was still with the team, this was his pump-up song. So if you were in the locker room, this was a song that was blasting during the pregame. So this is why you still hear it to this day.
Well, he did fight for a living, so that might explain his love for the song. Several blows to the head, and I like Lyndon Byers. But
The whole song though, like he was getting pumped up even to this part. Because that makes me want to step in front of a bus.
this is Chery wants to defend black.
All right.
Hello. Is this Cherry?
No, this is Carrie.
Oh, Carrie. All right, very good. I can see the misspelling. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, I want to defend Black Betty. That song just kicks ass.
Bam-ba-lam.
You know what? But you sound like the kind of guy that would like Black Betty. He just kicks ass. That's all you need to know.
It does. It's awesome.
Hell yeah.
It's awesome.
Hell yeah, man. Turn it up.
Yeah.
All right, I like you. See, we would be friends. All right, maybe I do like people that like Black Betty. I'm not calling you. If you like this, that guy's rules. That guy's growing up in Detroit, right there. That guy.
Oh, Black Betty.
Just because you know the best defense of Black Betty. I'm out of material. Because the best defense of Black Betty is like, come on, man, it rules.
Bam-ba-lam.
I'm not even going to make fun of him. He's like, that kicks ass. I'm done making fun of the Leadbelly version, but you could make me laugh for 2 hours just playing old blues songs. Those are the funniest things in the world to me.
We all went through that in college. Where's my Stevie Ray Vaughan? All of a sudden, there was
but
a massive
that's
Stevie
at
Ray
least
Vaughan
that's
album.
produced, and that's an actual album.
I'm talking about like Plantation, like Alabama, like this stuff. Like it's hysterical to me. The insistence of like, listen, you can hear years and generations of oppression in his voice. Listen, open your ears and listen. It's good. Look at him. Listen to him clap off time.
What about it, Black Betty?
Listen, it's brilliant. It's like the most patronizing garbage.
It goes on for 2 minutes.
I used to work with a guy that said that he liked this stuff. No, you don't. You don't like it. You don't. You're playing it for people, and you haven't heard it until you've heard it on its original vinyl. Come into the study. Harvard, let's go into the Harvard archives. Look, here. It's fragile. The vinyl is it's fragile to the touch, much like the sentiment of the song. And it's just about like some whore the guy had sex with. All right.
I like that story better.
Yeah, exactly. Like the guy, if you talk to the guy who recorded it, he's like, dude, it took 10 seconds. I just was rambling on about
slept with this girl, woke up, and wrote this down.
You can see I'm barely clapping my hands here.
Yeah.
Like, what was the genesis of the pain? Huh? We had been drinking, and this guy had this mic set up, so I just decided to go in there and ramble on. Ramble on. Interesting. Do tell. All right, so we'll be back. There is more then we just start talking about Kiss's Dynasty album, which to some people don't like, but I enjoy it.
And we're going to talk about Linda Evans and her time on Dynasty. Way too voluptuous for my taste.
I didn't realize how hot Linda Evans was until I got much older. When it was lost on me as a child.
Who was the brunette on that show?
Joan Collins.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have said no to giving her a smooch on the lips. Mm-hmm. All right, we will be back in just a moment.
BackstageCountry.com, your online home for all things country music. Award-winning movies often have incredible soundtracks, and many of those have gone on to become country gold. We've picked our top 5 country songs that have been nominated for an Oscar. Text Oscar to 45911 to see if your favorite made the list on BackstageCountry.com. Text Oscar to 45911 and we'll send the link straight to your phone.
Hey, if your alarm clock sounds like this is the show for you. Toucher and Hardy, the Sports Hub.
Do you get up to this as your alarm clock? Machi. Written in 1972. I can't. We're talking about I did get Apple Plus, so I could contribute to this conversation. I did feel obligated. Enough people in my personal life are talking about the Dynasty, men and women. I even got to talk to a girl, and she had been watching Dynasty, the documentary on, and I think it's fine. It's on Apple Plus. It's not that big a deal. But what I want to focus on very quickly, because we've been talking about it off the air a lot, is they show Tom Brady from 2001 and just how much younger and better he looks. And I understand, ladies and gentlemen, he's a handsome man. I understand, ladies and gentlemen, he has a fantastic diet. I understand, ladies and gentlemen, he works out. But what I thought to Hardy was an excellent comparison. Look at Joe Rogan. Joe Rogan's probably, 54, 55, and Brady's probably 47.
Right.
All right, so look at Joe Rogan. He works out. He's always in these ice baths, everything else. He admits he takes, like, growth hormone. Joe Rogan looks terrible. But he's super muscular and keeps himself in good shape, but his head's all puffy. And
everything about him is, like, health-related or what he thinks is healthy. Like you said, ice baths and diet
I think he does a carnivore diet from whatever or at some point he was just, whatever. He, like, dabbles in, like, extreme diets and things of that nature. He's obviously a jiu-jitsu guy, and he looks old and bad. Like Tom Brady, whatever he's done, it's really you know what? I swear to God, I would if they wouldn't. Fred, you're ugly. Ladies and gentlemen, I understand this, but if it's impossible to improve your looks, what Brady did to him to me, I could make myself a solid 4. So and I'm not kidding. Like if you said, Fred, if you're a plastic surgeon, contact me. If you say to me with very little effort on your part, I can do whatever I did to Tom Brady, and you will have that much of a change in your look. Now you'll still be, again, people, much uglier than Tom Brady.
Very ugly.
I get it. Very ugly.
Empirically, you'll still be a very ugly person.
I've listened to you since 2006. I understand how horribly unattractive I am.
Grotesque.
But I understand, Hardy. It's believe me,
a mess.
Don't think I don't know that.
Okay.
But if they said to me, like, we could make you like 2 points on the scale better looking, I'm doing that in 10 seconds.
And Brady, if he really wants to make some money, forget about the TB12, forget about the partnership with whoever you're with now. Just sell at a price the methods that you have used to get yourself to look like you look now.
Yeah,
because don't tell me it's avocado ice cream, because nobody believes that. I'm
not going to go on some crazy extreme diet. I understand that's how you got thin and how you got good shape. I'm not interested in your body. I'm interested in how you changed your face to such an incredible degree, because, my God, the man is beautiful now. He really is. Yeah. And he was no prize as a rookie. And I'm not talking about, like, the body. I'm talking about that face of his. Hachi Machi. All right, what are we going to play here?
So Ernie Adams has a part in this documentary in the episode that I believe is entitled Spygate. So you know this is what they're going to be getting into, what they're going to be talking about. Not everybody is going to be talking about it, though. Well,
just so you know.
Wow, and so there's with the Black Betty.
That's not it. Hold on.
If we get the director on, let's just go like, what's with the Black Betty, and then hang up on him.
Or play it for like 10 minutes in the background during the interview.
Yeah, just go, do you see what you did to us?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I have it here, Fred. I have it here. I don't know why. That's the only one that's in there.
All right, good.
There's not one detail that Ernie Adams would not know about.
So that's Damian Woody setting up the Ernie Adams portion. Okay. Ernie Adams going to talk about Spygate. Good.
Just so you know, on this whole video thing.
The video thing?
The Jets game in 2007.
Oh.
Okay. I'm not going to reopen it.
Well, we have to talk it a little.
Yeah, right. But just you know, I mean, this is you're not going. I'm not like. Could I tell you stories? Yes. Am I going to? No. I got some. This is. It's going to the grave with me a little bit.
All right, so I'm just assuming it's terrible stuff.
It's just
what a horrible way to defend yourself. I mean, that's just awful. So now let's just assume it's way worse than we ever imagined.
Yeah.
Like that's no way to say it.
Yeah.
Pioli had the best statement about it, which I thought was really interesting. I thought it was a great way of phrasing it. Is he said that winning is a narcotic in that the more you win, the less pleasurable it is, and the worse it is, the worse it gets not doing it.
That's right. And the filmmakers, didn't they use that at the end of episode 3 to kind of set up the Spygate thing?
Because Pioli, as terrible as Adams was there, and I'm like, why did you make the documentary?
No, but Pioli spoke in cohesive sentences. You understood where he was going, and
but
he set it up beautifully.
But isn't it interesting that they weren't even enjoying it anymore, and that the pressure to win was such that they cheated? I mean, Pioli's like, they cheated. So all of you that just for some reason ran yourselves ragged about the cheating, they cheated. They knew they were cheating.
Belichick admitted as much in front of Armin Katan. Right after he said, I'm not going to talk about that anymore. Good for the producers to go back and get his statement at the time.
But isn't it interesting, like, just how joyous it all was in the beginning, and then it just became, like, isn't that just a funny human condition? Like, that it became expected, and then when it's expected, it's not even fun anymore.
Put pressure on yourself to keep yourself where you are.
And it's just a relief to win, and not even like that exuberance and joy of being a 10-point dog and winning in the Super Bowl. Like, you'll never get that again.
And as we get into like episodes 3 and 4 of this thing, there was already some talk about it. It's like, wow, this seems to be like a PR piece from ownership and the team side of things. Now even more so because with the Damian Woody setup and with Ernie Adams sitting there hemming and hawing, like, I'm not going to tell them, I'm going to go to the grave. They're trying to hang Spygate on Ernie Adams. And I believe that he had a lot to do with the keeping of the tapes and of the deciphering of the signals in this. But to me, that seemed like a concentrated editorial effort to pin it on Ernie as the guy behind it all.
It's interesting, too, because you have Robert Kraft, defending himself afterwards. Well, after this all happened, I went to Belichick and asked on a scale of 1 to 10, how big a deal is this?
1 to 100.
1 to 100, how big a deal is this? And he said 1. And then I told Bill that he was a schmuck.
Right.
Yes, it is much like the book it's based on, ownership slanted.
And boy, the whole thing is interesting. It's just how much Belichick changed. Like when all the pressure between Bledsoe and Brady was going on, and they're talking to Belichick, and he's like a different person. I think the thing I'm taking away from this documentary I find the most interesting is how much like it just made everyone miserable. Like you would think you'd put yourself in these guys' positions and like, wow, like isn't it awesome? Like you're the best quarterback of all time, and you're the best coach of all time, and the way like Belichick evolved from a guy in his late 40s that won that Super Bowl, and they're asking him about Bledsoe and Belichick, and he's got balls, or Bledsoe and Brady, and he's got balls. He's like, listen, we're going to do what's best for the team. But then they show footage of him, and he's like laughing and like talking to reporters like he's like kind of a normal guy.
Yeah.
And the more they won, like the more miserable it made his life. And like Brady's like saying it too, like the more, and they'll get more into it, but like the more they won, like the less enjoyable their lives became. And it's just so interesting because you'd be like, they have it made, and the ultimate goal in life is to win and do all these things. And it was the opposite effect was taking its toll on them.
Well, they tried to make Ernie a part of it, and they tried to get him to talk about it, and they even had the recreations of him driving to the Snow Bowl game, and none of it really works. I thought, had they used some of the soundtrack music from an earlier episode for the Ernie part, it would have been better.
Just so you know, on this whole video thing.
The video thing?
That just came in 2007.
Oh.
Okay. I'm not going to reopen it. Just, I mean, this is, but just, you're not going to, I'm not, okay. Could I tell you stories? Yes. Am I going to? No, I got some, this is, it's going to the grave with me a little bit.
Why?
Video thing. Just, I mean, you're not, I'm not, this is, just like a.
Why is it going to the grave with you? You cheated at a football game.
Exactly. It's going to the guy. I can tell you something. I'm not going to tell you any stories. No, because there's stories of you doing all the stuff that you weren't supposed to be doing. You've been warned about, and you kept doing it.
Like
other teams were doing it too.
You could even have a sense of humor about it now. Like no one cares anymore. It's 20 years ago. Just. I mean, what a weirdo. The best is the recreation of him driving in the snow, and it's like how I wonder how many takes it took to make him look confused.
I don't. Jesus, one take, Ernie. Great, we got it. You're a hell of an actor.
Just look back and forth like you were doing.
Like it was weird. They show him driving in the snow, and he's just confused.
How many takes of the Robin Glazier stand-in walking down the hall with a hammer? Because that was necessary.
That was fantastic.
This is not the best documentary of all.
That was the walking down the hall with the hammer was the one that convinced me that they could have done something different.
Yeah,
like just not done that part.
Yeah,
just told the story.
What?
Without the unsolved mystery
to walk down an empty hallway with a hammer.
The unsolved mysteries dramatic recreation. Like, no, we don't need that.
But if you haven't seen the documentary, we're not giving anything away. But they go like Ernie Adams was driving. It's like this non-important, like just set up to a story. It's like Ernie Adams was driving in the snow, and it just shows him like,
I'm gonna get snowing. I gotta go for a ride.
Pioli does a tremendous Ernie Adams impression, by the way. When I came away impressed with Pioli, I really did. I think that he comes off very well in this thing. And
there's not one detail that Ernie Adams would not know about.
Yeah, well, they're pinning it on Ernie.
Yeah, poor Ernie. He was everywhere, though, boy. He's in that war room.
Mm-hmm.
They weren't even hiding him back in the day. They started hiding him.
Yes.
Because obviously when they started cheating, I mean, you could put two and two together. When he was like the cheater guy, they started hiding him. But, I mean, in the Brady room, like in the draft, it's Pioli next to Belichick and Ernie Adams is across the table. Like, Ernie Adams was just showing and proving. Like, he was like Diddy's guy that had the Burberry rain thing. What do you call umbrella?
Right.
Rain thing, umbrella.
The rain thing?
All right, ladies and gentlemen. It's time for me to
Video
go.
thing.
I couldn't think of the word umbrella.
Just yeah, I mean, you're not.
Dan, go ahead.
Hi, guys. What did you guys make of that? I thought it was bizarre how they had that ex-cop who started working at the Meadowlands, and somehow the burden of Deflategate was like the worst time of his life. I could not understand what that was all about.
Yeah, that was a weird setup, and to me, they tried to get a little too cute with that. Like the former mob guy who was, or not mob guy, but law enforcement guy. It's like I couldn't handle the disinformation and the backstabbing and all this stuff, and I got out of that life only to be brought into this. I'm like, okay, enough. Easy with all that.
It's a little dramatic.
Yeah, I thought there was some kind of violence or something that erupted that we didn't hear about, but there was like nothing to it. Yeah.
I thought I was watching the wrong documentary. I stopped the Apple TV. I'm like, I'm not even watching the right thing right
That's 5 minutes that really didn't need to be in there.
No.
Well, there's a lot of 5 minutes that don't need to be in there. Thank you, Dan. Let's be honest. It's not the greatest thing that's ever been made. In fact, I don't want to have the guy on. I didn't really like it. Oh, Fred, you don't like anything. I know. Sorry, guys. All right, here are the headlines.
Said a word, not a mind. I'm not. The damn thing going blind. Like a. Said, oh, Black Betty. This is. Whoa, Black Betty. Just like a.
BackstageCountry.com, your online home for all things country music. Country music has so many generous artists who always seem to jump in to help those in need. We're spotlighting 5 who lead by example and lend a helping hand to charitable causes. See who made our list when you text GIVE to 45911. Text GIVE to 45911 and read all about it right now on BackstageCountry.com.
On the air, online, on the air. This is how Boston sports fans start their day. Toucher and Hardy on 98.5 The Sports Hub.
Hey, we are Toucher and Hardy. Our show is brought to you by FanDuel Sportsbook. Make every moment more with FanDuel. Hardy is back from vacation, where he was in the mighty Florida. And on Thursday, he sent me a text that said, I never thought my phone was listening to me until now. And it was a shop now, and it says, bras redesigned for small bus. Say hello to the perfect fitting bra with no more cup gaps.
Yeah.
Custom designed for smaller chested women in mind. See what the hype is all about. Now that showed up on your phone?
That showed up on my phone, and there was a second ad, too, that I didn't grab, and when I went back, it was gone. But it talked about bras for A and B cup sizes and how they are, better fitting and this, that, and the other thing. I'm like, why are these showing up on my feed?
You were scrolling through Mary Lou Retton photos or something?
So this is an honest thing.
They don't screenshotted it and sent it to you.
I know.
Yes.
No bras show up on my thing at all. I'm not in an algorithm.
I've never had that happen to me.
In fact,
honestly.
if I go to like my Instagram, let's see, and I just hit the search button.
Yeah.
I mean, there's like hot girls. There's the Von Erich brothers.
Mm-hmm.
There's Adam Vinatieri. There's Elizabeth Berkley. And this guy in the St. Louis Cardinals.
I had Elizabeth Berkley pop up on mine,
and
too.
of course, Bert Kreischer, because Joe Rogan, they're like, you're a 49-year-old white guy.
Yeah.
Here's someone in Joe Rogan's orbit. But there's nothing particular. There's Shane Gillis. There's no really, there's no bras at all or anything about boobs. And I like breasts and everything else. But it's never popped up on my algorithm. This is this is something else.
I'm looking at my promotions tab right now, and the not the emails, but the ads that show up in my Gmail. There's one from Ram Trucks, and there's one from Mosquito Bump Finder. So I don't.
But seriously, but in all seriousness, and by the way, that is a website, not to be confused with Used Gum Finder, which is what Wallach does to build his nest. Bird joke. But you have explored enough about flat-chested women to think people think you're in the market for tiny bras.
But listen, I have not done any searches. I've not applied any filters on any site, Fred, and you know what I'm talking about.
Do you hold? Oh yeah, porn site. But do you hold a phone in your pocket while you're playing golf, and you're just going on and on and on and on and on about like Natalie Portman? Like, is this some? Now, is Natalie Portman someone you enjoy?
Yeah, who doesn't?
No, but is she like you sexualize her? She's like a fantasy.
Oh, no. I would just like to, have a.
Well, she's a Harvard-educated woman. She's a tremendous actress.
Yeah,
I'm not saying that, but I'm saying that people do enjoy mating. Is this something that which is considered very taboo now to say?
Yeah, well, but I also find myself as I get older, I don't sexualize anything anymore. I'd say, and my thoughts of fantasy don't. Drift off into like sexual exploits. It's like, oh, they'd be really nice to shake hands with.
Even if Keira Knightley happens to float across your
Machi.
Yeah,
Keira Knightley.
Yeah, Keira Knightley. Sure.
Who's that girl in? She's too young, but the girl in those Pitch Perfect movies too, and she did the one where she's in space. Oh, what is that?
The redhead?
Anna Kendrick.
Anna Kendrick. That's right.
I didn't know she was especially small busted.
Yes, she is.
Oh, she is?
Yes.
Oh, well, Hardy knows them all off the top of his head.
Yeah.
It really
I
is
didn't know her name.
Can I ask you something? Because this always fascinated me, and I haven't brought it up. Crash used to use well, now he's thrice divorced, but he used to use pictures of his wife as material for self-pleasure.
Which one?
Second one.
Okay.
And probably the first one, too. And probably the third one, too.
Yeah.
But I know for a fact the second one, and he's talked about it on the air.
Okay.
But is this, you two are still married? I never had done that, and perhaps that's the reason my marriage failed. But do you fantasize about your wives?
Yeah, I am still like oddly nerdily. I mean, to probably not even a normal extent turned on by, yes, my wife.
That is such a gift. You realize like what a gift that is for you.
She is a gift. She's a gift from God, Fred. Is what
Crash says, easy, big guy.
Oh, she. Oh boy.
Well, I mean, these are things that he discussed openly on these very airwaves.
Yeah, it's cat's out of the bag. Crash.
Yeah, I mean,
I still feel bad about the last time I saw Crash. We were doing that Drive for 5 bus, which we have talked about on this show, and I was afraid nobody would show up at the Atlanta rally, and I knew Crash was in Atlanta. I'm like, hey man, there's a couple of people here on the bus. We'd love to see you. You know, Big Jim is here, and yeah, can you show up just so there's someone here? We got off that bus at that restaurant bar, and there were, I don't know, 500 people minimum standing in the parking lot waiting for the Patriots bus. And Crash was like kind of toward the front. And I think he was there was he a Falcons fan?
He's a Dolphins fan.
Dolphins fan, yeah. He didn't care anything about the Patriots, though. And I felt bad because I asked him to come out so I'd have somebody like talk to and hang out with. And then I saw him for like 10 seconds. Then he just left.
All right, but you're like an episode of Everyone Loves Raymond. You like chase your wife around. You want to have sex with her all the time.
I mean, it's just I don't chase her around. It's not like a little slap,
right.
But no, it's something that is never unappealing to me.
John?
Ever.
I'm not a walking sitcom, but yeah, I still find my wife very attractive.
Well, that's now we've changed the subject.
No, but the point is, do I feel sexually?
No.
Yes.
No. The point is, do you use? Is that something you can fantasize about? Like when you're fantasizing?
Yes. Yes, I can.
You can fantasize.
I can.
After all these years, you still can fantasize about being with your wife.
Yep.
You not a stranger. It's your wife is what you fantasize.
Correct.
Really? That is amazing. I wonder how two people. I guess two out of two. That's a good for you guys.
Well, I was.
Thank you.
I'm not surprised with Wallach because as I was looking at those bald eagles when we were on vacation, both the mother and father were up there in that nest with those
they
two
made for
baby
life?
eagles. Apparently they do split off and do their own thing, like separate vacations. But when it comes time to,
you don't know the eagle didn't have another nest in a tree down the path.
Well, the male eagle did squawk to me that he had been kicked out of his first nest, and then this was his second nest.
Oh, so he's very.
Then he made the two baby eagles.
Did you fantasize about your first wife? I mean, is that the secret to the marriage?
No, I did not.
Okay. All right, so this is unique to the second
I'm
wife.
a one eagle guy.
But the first wife you would fantasize about other women, and now that you're in this marriage, you don't fantasize about other women. So when you do watch pornography, which you admit to,
I have in the past. Yes.
Yeah, you're just.
I'm just focused on what's in front of me.
No, but it's not the woman that you're you wish that it was you and your wife in the scene.
Correct.
Okay, all right, I understand. I don't know how you do that. But you do it.
Mm-hmm.
So pornography ideally would just be with
but
your
I
wife.
will say this. It's been a while. You had brought this up before. Pornography is kind of faded from view.
It's too.
I don't even need it anymore. We got back from vacation on Friday, and I'm like, I need a nap. We've been up since 5. I go down to my napping place, turn on the TV. Some Kind of Wonderful was on. Mary Stuart Masterson. I'm like, there we go. That's all I need. This is the part where she plays the drums real crappy. I like this part.
For a long time.
And nothing's shaking.
Eric Stoltz is like, you're getting really good. I'm like, no, she's not. He's lying to her, but they keep that up, dude.
I would really appreciate this 4-minute drum solo to end. That'd be really nice.
If you think Hardy's kidding about Mary Stuart Masterson, he's brought it up. He should be called Mary Stuart Masturbation. If you know what I'm saying.
Too easy. Even for you.
Jim McBride will join us. The Patriots have an ass load of free agent money coming up this offseason. Could they make a move at the deadline? Is he concerned by the recent losing streak that they've been on? We'll discuss all of that in just a moment.